Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Good Trouble Trailblazers series. The Social Action Committee of the Omicron Sigma chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated has established a series of virtual interviews to promote outstanding and impactful individuals in the DFW Metroplex and beyond. Our goal is to promote individuals who are shaking up the system and affecting the futures of others. We are shining a spotlight on the tremendous work being performed in the DFW Metroplex. In remembrance of our honorable brother John Lewis, let's shake up the system and no longer be subtle. Starting with us, we can all get into good trouble. My guests for this show are Dr. Arlene Barnett and Miss Shirley Pace. Dr. Barnett is a graduate of Howard University College of Dentistry in Washington, D.C. She's married 45 years to Dr. John L. Barnett Jr. She's a proud mother of three HBCU grads, one from Xavier University, the other Morehouse College, and the last Dillard University. She's an art enthusiast. She is a member of the Ambassadors Council of the Amon Carter Museum of American Art. She's also a member of the National Association of Mental Illness in Fort Worth, and she is a life member of the NAACP. And she is a co-founder of the Tarrant County Education Foundation. Miss Shirley Pace is a native of Fort Worth, Texas. She's a product of Tarrant County College. She served 30 years in the ministry. She has two HBCU grads, one from Florida A&M and the other from Howard. And she is a co-founder of the Saintsville Baptist Church Incorporated. And she's a founder and director of the Saintsville Academy Daycare Center and served on numerous boards, including the Women's Haven and the YMCA. She is currently president of the Baptist Ministers, Wives and Widows Union of Fort Worth. She's a member of the Links Incorporated Fort Worth, Texas chapter, the Fort Worth Dallas Metroplex Chums Incorporated, and a member of the DFW chapter of the Moles, and an associate member of Jack and Jill of America Fort Worth chapter. And of course, she is also a co-founder of the Tarrant County Education Foundation. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Dr. Arlene Barnett and Miss Shirley Pace. Thank you, ladies, for joining the show. We wanted to recognize your outstanding accomplishments and your foundation, the creation of your foundation, and all that you're doing in the community and the DFW Metroplex. So, once I read about you, once again, I knew I had to have you on to interview you for this Good Trouble Trailblazer series.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So let's jump into the questions. First off, how did you two meet? Whoever wants to go first, how did the two of you meet?
Go ahead, Shirley.
No, I was going to say, you go ahead, Arlene. We met in church and we became fast friends and partners in crime and workers of the ministry and the community.
Very nice. Like all things come together for the glory of God, I hear. So
That's right.
amen. And what led you both to form the Tarrant County Education Foundation? What steps did you take to, I guess, form the foundation?
Well, our inspiration was probably our mutual path of educating the children. First, educating ourselves and dealing with the student loan debt at the end of the day. I can recall, having difficulty getting credit extended because I had student loan debts. Later, when we had our own children, Shirley and I had this experience, we wanted to make sure that we did everything possible to make sure that our children could graduate without the burden of student loan debt on them when they finished school and started their professional careers.
Right.
And then with the extravagant and the exorbitant price of continuing education and college education, we began to be concerned about our grandchildren and the future of grandchildren in our community as to whether they would actually have a sufficient means to graduate school, attend school, and not be burdened at the end of the day with oppressive student loan debts. And so we started fundraising for the United Negro College Fund, and believed wholeheartedly in the motto, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in."
Right.
And we decided that the best method would be to establish a foundation, an endowment, an endowed scholarship fund, so that that could serve generations to come.
No, understood. And yes, college debt and access to college is one of the most important things, especially affecting Black and Brown students today, and will still affect them tomorrow.
Well, the unique thing about the Tarrant County Education Foundation is, as we said, Shirley and I were looking to serve our community. And the difference in the Tarrant County Education Foundation is that our scholarship fund is an endowment scholarship fund. So the money we raise that goes into the fund, the principal is never spent. We only give scholarships from the accrued interest, and that way the scholarship will continue to grow and give off and yield more interest for more scholarships as it grows annually. So it's twofold. We're building into it so that the interest grows more of it and we can give out more of it, but it'll be perpetually available to Tarrant County students. And this is how we thought would be a best way to serve the generations to come. You know, typically when we raised money, we'd raise money today, we give money tomorrow. Raise it today, give it all the way tomorrow. And so it's a counterbalance to the now funding where you raise it and give it, to the endowed funding where you raise it and save it and give the yield of the interest as scholarship.
And I like that. That's quite a legacy to leave, and definitely a trailblazing aspect. So let's talk about the United Negro College Fund. Why is the fund so important? And I guess give a little bit of background for those who may not know what it is.
Okay, the United Negro College Fund, UNCF, as it is broadly known, is the nation's largest and most effective minority education organization. It is given $100 million every year to hundreds of campaigns, related campaigns for students' aid, and an impressive 86%. This is really impressive. 86% of every dollar raised
Mhm.
going to student support and scholarship.
Very
So
nice.
that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty good.
Very nice. I know that's benefited a lot of students out there, especially for those who don't see a way of going to college. So just because you may not come from money doesn't mean that there's not a single way for you to go. There are resources out there for you to attend if you know where to
Right,
look.
right.
So I'm very glad this exists.
Yes.
So let's actually talk about UNCF scholarships. Dr. Barnett, any thoughts on the scholarships? Any enlightening points there? Are there different types of scholarships? Are they given out for different things?
Yes, there are large numbers of scholarships that are given through the United Negro College Fund. In fact, the Tarrant County Education Foundation is one of those types of funds
Okay.
that provides scholarships. They are in different categories. They're related to different, attached to different reasons. You know, some may be to help faculty development. Some may be to support the institution itself, but predominantly the funds are for students of economically deprived or challenged, and those students have to apply. Even with the $100 million a year gift, still only 1 out of every 10 students really gets to benefit from an application for scholarships through United Negro College Fund. That's why we're always out there asking for donations, and tremendous amount of outpouring from the community every year to appreciate or realize how important this UNCF is.
Well, yes. So just with that, your giving is important. Even with that substantial amount, even few students can still receive a scholarship from that. That's quite daunting. So yes, giving I can see is very, very important.
Well, our HBCUs make up
Mhm.
about 3% of the country's colleges and universities. They enroll about 10% of America's African American students. And out of this, they produce 20% of all African American graduates. And, it is supporting 37 individual Black colleges and universities.
Wow.
So the Bennett College is one of them, which is my alma mater. Dillard University, we mentioned. Houston Tillotson here in Texas, quite a few Texas schools. Jarvis Christian, Tyler Texas College, Wiley College in Marshall, which is your
That's right.
hometown, I understand.
That's right.
And so, Dillard University, Tougaloo, Tuskegee. So, I mean, and there are 37 HBCUs that UNCF supports.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Far reaching and definitely needed.
Yes. Yes. That's
All right, so let's talk about your recent Art of Giving luncheon. Take us into that.
all right. So the Art of Giving Luncheon is our signature fundraiser. We both love art in all its forms, and we believe that art is a universal language that speaks to the heart, and it does. Each year, we select an artist whose creative voice and talent will bring awareness to TCEF, the Tarrant County Education Foundation. So this year, we're extremely proud that Mr. Ed Dwight, who is a prolific sculptor, was our artist.
Okay.
And we also had ex-mayor Betsy Price, and the grandmother of Juneteenth, Miss Opal Lee. Those were our two honorary chairs.
Good. Dr. Sorwer Opally.
Dr. Sorrow, Opal Lee. That's
Dr. Sorwer Opally. Very nice. So you've had some very prominent figures a part of your dinners,
yes,
your
we
luncheons.
did.
Yeah, and
Luncheon this year.
both were just so steeped in their support of early childhood education, secondary education. Of course, Dr. Opal Lee was an educator for many years, and former Mayor Betsy Price campaigned and served 10 years as a mayor and fortified education in the city of Fort Worth. And so we were honored to have them come
Yes.
on board and support TCEF. Regarding our artist, Ed Dwight, the sculpture that we honed in on
Mhm.
is called Hands That Picked Cotton Now Cast Their Ballots. And the sculpture is part of my husband and I's collection, but it is on loan to the Amon Carter Museum. And it will be there until August for our when we will have our culminating event on the second Thursday of August, the 11th, August the 11th at the Amon Carter Museum. But we're very, very proud to have it displayed there, have many of the community come in, take a look at it. It's a very powerful piece. Every one of our artists so far have been staunch supporters of United Negro College Fund, so that was very important to us. Also, that their contribution in their works speaks not only to excellence in education, but tells a story of sometimes a very difficult road, sometimes a very a unique road, as in the case of Ed Dwight, and many people don't know his story. And so we just wanted to be sure that we couple these things. So we have the good fortune of being invited to be a community partner of the Amon Carter Museum this year, and particularly because of the artist Ed Dwight. He was the first African American selected to go into the NASA space program. He didn't become an astronaut because he was selected by the Kennedy administration, and after his assassination, then the program sort of wasn't
Wow.
as strong, and they didn't select him. He was an engineer, and discovered his talent for art. He was just an entrepreneur, quite a few businesses, and he's completed thousands of small artworks. He has recorded the history of the African American pioneer in the West. He has recorded the African American history of jazz from Africa to the present day. He has completed over 140 monuments and sculptures in parks and museums around the country.
So
And
it sounds to me like we should have him on next. On the Good Trouble Trouble. That's what I'm hearing. We should have him on next.
let me tell you, Mr. Ed Dwight is a phenomenal artist and very important to us. And most of us don't know his name. And actually has an African American history monument right in front of the Capitol at Austin, Texas.
Because that is exactly what this series is for. Those individuals who nobody really knows about, but needs to have a spotlight shown to say what they've done. So that's exactly who we're looking for, as well as yourselves. Do you have any other points for us on the Tarrant County Education Foundation?
We are a new part of the landscape of UNCF, and
Mhm.
we want to make everybody aware that we're here. You know, it's not in Tarrant County. So the children in Tarrant County can definitely look for us, seek out TCEF.
Okay.
You know, and then we want to ask people, of course, to give to this foundation so that we can really help lots more students.
Right.
So please give.
I'd like to add also that
Sure.
the fundraisers that we have been privileged to provide in the community each year now for 3 years, those are donated events.
Okay.
None of your contributions goes to pay for food or music or a banquet hall. Every donation that we collect, 100% goes to the endowment fund.
Very good. And speaking of giving, let others know where they can find you, what website, and then let them know how they can give through what means.
The contact Dr. Barnett at tcefoundation.org. I know you can find us on Facebook. I know you can find us you can Google and find us as well.
Mhm.
But the best way to get directly to us is just email Dr. Barnett at tcefoundation.org.
Okay.
And Shirley Pace at tcefoundation.org.
All right. Well, once again, ladies, thank you very much for agreeing to be the first installment of the Good Trouble Trailblazers series.
That's great. That's
Yes,
great.
ma'am. So I'm
Thank you.
excited for what's to come. You two have done very well, and we're gonna look to continue these and definitely have you two back once again. And you can follow the Omicron Sigma chapter on YouTube at PBS-Omicron Sigma chapter, on Facebook at Omicron Sigma chapter Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and then on Instagram at PBS_Omicron Sigma. Thank you for joining today's Spotlight interview. We want to showcase other inspiring individuals. If you know someone who you believe needs to be recognized, send them our way. And remember, stay